This document links with the IB Higher Level Option 7 statistics, and it looks at taking samples from a normal distribution. At the moment we've got the mean set out to be 10 and the standard deviation to be 3, but we can change either of those statistics. And on the next page we have a single plot, and all we've done simply here is we've taken one sample of sample size 1 from that normal distribution with parameters 10 and 3. And as you can see, it's just a little bit above 8. If I want to take 2 samples or 3 samples or 4 samples, I can effectively build up a rather approximate picture of a normal distribution, and if we do enough dots here you can start to see that they are generally centered around about 10 and they've generally got a standard deviation of 3. Now these are just 40 single value results. Now if we were to change the sample size from 1 to 2, what effectively has happened is it's taken a sample of 2 from the normal distribution and worked out the mean of those 2 values and plotted that. So each of these dots represents the mean of 2 single values from that normal distribution. If we increase the sample size to say 3 or 4, each dot now represents 4 values which have been meaned to get each of the data points. And because I've done that 40 times, what students are actually seeing is the results of 160 pieces of data being generated by this simulation. As we increase the sample size, the shape of the distribution becomes tighter and tighter, and this is evidence that as you take a sample mean of a larger sample size, not only does everything cluster around the mean as we would hope and expect, but also the standard deviation of the sample mean is being reduced. And it turns out it's inversely proportional to the sample size, which we've chosen to increase as far as we see. It's also evidence of the central limit theorem in action, but it's not actually the central limit theorem because we started with the normal and we're staying in the world of a normal distribution. But it's entirely consistent with the notion that everything is going to cluster around the mean and it's just going to have a smaller standard deviation. We're done.